Welcome back for the Mobile Gaming Fanatics. I'm MyTyme, this is Top Drives, and on this Friday afternoon I'm going to bring you the next installment in prize cars, and that is a Jaguar. But before we come to that, just to let you know, you saw from the intro video that I was able to get into the top tiers. I'm going to say tier 3 is top tiers-ish in the previous Gunput finals. Now, we got the roof, we got a carbon fibre, and yeah, I was pretty happy. Didn't really have to use any resources on that. So hopefully we'll go one further this time and get the prize car. But we don't have a weekly challenge. We are in the off season for that. It's going to be another week and a bit before the challenges are back, but they should be back revamped and ready to rock and roll. So looking forward to that. But today's event, before we go into the actual event itself, I have done pretty well by my standards recently on the events, or so far this week. I'm pretty sure I've had 4, maybe 5. It's definitely 4, possibly 5 top 10 in 10s in a row, which have been ceramic packs. Now, I've not got anything particularly great from the ceramic packs themselves. It's only been super rares, but I seem to be getting a bit more to where I want to be in the game. My garage is a bit more diversified now, so I can do a little bit better in events. And something like this is a classic example. Mercedes-Benz isn't a great manufacturer for me. I have not worked on many of my Mercedes-Benz, but I do have 3 legendaries here, even though they're not great legendaries, and they are all standard, as in I've put no resources into upgrading them yet. I do have the CLS 400, which everyone has. I don't know why I haven't maxed this car out yet. This car is extremely useful. I've seen how many times I've technically used it, even though I try to avoid using it, and I still come back to it because it is medium ground clearance. It does have standard tyres and is extremely useful in a lot of German events and wet weather events. This is a car I really should max out, and at the end of this event I will max out my AMG. It's got one more upgrade to go yet, so you know, I'm not exactly running a particularly great hand here yet I still find myself coming in and out of the top 10. Now I'm going to struggle here because, as I said, I don't have my cars worked on, so anybody who's done some kind of leveling up of their cars are going to be streets ahead of me in terms of been able to actually get a solid top 10 position. But if I am lucky, I might be able to sneak a top 10 position. So we will see. Just going to show you the circuit here. There's definitely at least one city streets on every track set, so you're going to want to have at least one medium car, and there are 2 wet circuits as well, which is one reason why the CLS 400 comes into play. Now, I will not stay here. I will very easily be beaten and knocked down, but if I can maintain a top 10, that'd be great. Just to pick up another ceramic pack. That's the way we are trying to head with our garage. But if we come to the Jaguar XJR9 qualifiers, I've done a few races just to get myself up there a little bit, just to see what they look like. And yeah, I think let's start off with the controversy, which seems to be rearing its ugly head in the forums and around the servers. Well, first we notice when we come and actually look at the prices we're getting, which give us an indication of the requirements, we have different manufacturers, not from the same nation either. So that normally means it's going to be a tag or a decade or something like that, which is going to be the common theme between them all. And in this case, the common theme is they're all 2001 cars. Okay, so all 2001 cars. Now, I have seen a screenshot, as long as it's not fake, of the prelims, and again the prizes include more 2001 cars, so it looks like it is going to be specifically 2001 cars. Now, before we do that, I think it's a good play. Let's start the positives. Let's start at the actual prize car itself, and this car is an amazing car. Now, not only is it another great exhibition car, which I would love to add to my collection. It's got the motorsport tag, but if you look at its stats, 96 stock handling, 2.70 to 60 and a 245 top speed. This car is extremely strong. It also has very good MRA. This car is going to be an amazing addition to pretty much every garage. Now, the one thing about this car, which some people have said, and obviously I've not tried it out, so this is only listening to other people, it is the rival now for the Porsche 962C. Now, you can get this car from packs, okay? This is a pullable car. It's not a price car like the Jaguar. However, the Jaguar is the car to rival this. This car has amazing MRA. It's basically the same car. It looks the same. It's almost identical statistic wise, but the other one's a Jaguar. So love to get it, love to add it to my collection. But what cars are going to be useful in the final? Well, if we work on the knowledge that we're going to be using 2001 cars for now, unless this changes for some reason, but it doesn't look very likely at this moment in time. And we click OK. I'm going to work across for those of you who haven't seen this yet, but if you have, then bear with me. There are 5 legendaries up for grabs, or that can be used. So if you buy a pack for the finals, 5 legendaries you can get, or if you've already got them, you can use any of these. Now I do have the Lamborghini Murcielago, but I haven't worked on it. It's not a particularly good Lamborghini. To be fair, none of the cars here were amazing. Yes, if I had the Koenigsegg, I would work on it because I don't have any yet. If you've got 2 Koenigsegg's, this is probably the one which you are not working on. The Porsche 911 Turbo, I don't think many people will be working on that. And again with the Diablo 6.0 SE. Maybe the Rufar Turbo. Maybe if you had this, you may have worked on it. But again, none of these cars are particularly key at the moment that you see them being used a lot in not only other events, but in clubs, etc. So it's one of those where if you pull a pack, you're probably only going to want to pull a legendary to help you for the finals, rather than putting a legendary to keep in your collection and build. So I may end up working on a Murcielago if it helps me get the car, because it's a car I'd really want. However, if one legendary isn't going to be enough, then I'm probably not going to work on it, so we're going to have to see. But here's the interesting part. As you scroll down, you'll see there's only 3 epics available. I do have one of them, the Corvair, already maxed out, had it for quite a while. Don't really use it, but I've got it. We've then got the Spiker and the Porsche 911 GT2. So there's only 8 cars here which are epic or above. So it looks like a lot of people, because it's quite a small pool here, it could be an event where ultra rares become extremely key. And if we look at the ultra rares, there's only 8 ultra rares as well. Now, I've had a power box and accidentally fused it away. I've had the M3 a number of times and fused it away. The TVR Tamura has evaded me so far. If I were to get one, I would be happy. It is definitely a car that I would like for drags. It's a useful car to have in your garage. So would be happy to get that. I don't really need duplicates of anything else except possibly a second Opel Corsa Super 1600. I will keep that and build it up. Everything else would be just a waste. But then as we move down, we can see we come into some super rares. Not even a huge number of super rares, etc. So it's a very, very skinny pool of cars to pull from here, which makes me feel, will people be buying the packs? And it's probably going to discourage people from buying packs, which means if you already own these cars, you may be at an advantage. And on top of that, as it will discourage a lot of people from buying the packs, if you then decide to buy the packs and you get one of these cars, it can put you in an advantage. So it's kind of like a bit of a yin and yang situation, isn't it? So it's almost like, depends which side of the fence you want to sit on, to whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I don't need another XKRR, I don't need another Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, but they may become useful. If you look at the actual cars themselves, all the legendaries bar one are 4-wheel drive. So there's a good chance we will see some wet kind of surfaces in the finals to make the legendaries more appealing, more useful. None of the epics do that, so definitely expect maybe 1, maybe 2 possibly, but at least 1 wet track. As we move down, we do have the possibility of some off-road or dirt, because we do have 3 cars here which would specialise, you could say, in that. We've also got the X-Type, which will do well in wet surface. And this car potentially could be extremely key. One of these 2 cars here, either the Corsa Super 1600 or the X-Type, could be one of those kind of lower RQ cars that help you get a prize car. Now for medium ground clearance, if that was a thing, you would look at the BMW M3 convertible, but I don't think medium ground clearance is going to be the prerequisite. I mean, yes, the Corsa could help you there, and the X-Type. There's a few more down here, because you've got the Civic, you've got the Dodge Super Hemi 8, which could help you there. The Lupo's got standard tyres as well, but I don't think it'll be a finals where you're looking at 3 or 4 kind of cars from ultra rare below to help you get a prize car. Possibly just the one. So maybe some rain, possibly one dirt, and then the rest is probably going to be around these kind of top speed twisty kind of cars. So it's a really, I'm not going to say strange, but different. Okay, it's a very different feel to what the finals are going to be like. Narrow selection, along with some not particularly great cars that you'd want to keep. But how are we going to get there? Well, you can get some cars to help you with 2015 to 2019 requirements. And again, German cars, this isn't good for me. Nothing maxed out. Well, actually, that's a lie. 2 maxed out cars. But, you know, I've had the Roadster for quite a while, and it's easier to max out the Ultra. I still haven't maxed out the Audi RSQ3, but it just needs one more upgrade. That needs to be done. Already mentioned that I want to do the CLS 400. And yeah, the Porsche is just here. So I do not have a chance of getting anywhere near the top. Okay, I'm going to play the first person just to give you an idea of the kind of requirements that we're looking at. There's going to be 2 wet circuits guaranteed, and you're going to want to have at least 1 medium ground clearance car. There will be an Ocean City Street kind of track available as well. So for me here, this is a pretty easy choice. I'm pretty sure actually there's 3 wet circuits in every track set, but I know off the top of my head there's at least 2. Pretty sure there's actually 3, but we'll come to that in a moment. So yeah, we'll just throw away on the fast circuit. Now for my last 2, the drag is a loss whatever happens twisty circuit, so we will just run like this, see what happens. But yeah, I don't have the required cars to make a push for the top 10, so it's not going to be a carbon fiber pack for me. I already know that, and I don't really have a car in here that I'm particularly keen on working on. I suppose if I were to come for 10th, it would be quite useful to get the BMW M3 just in case it was useful in the finals, but I'm not going to get there. So we'll do another track just to show you all the potential track sets you're going to come up against. Again, this is the same as last time. So for me, what we do is we're going to lose a twisty. We will take the Ocean City Streets like this. We will take the fast circuit like this. We don't mind losing here. I think we do it like this, and yeah, that's going to be it. So for me, it looks like another event where qualifiers where I'm just basically playing to make up numbers. So don't feel too disheartened if you're in the same boat as me. I would definitely suggest getting involved in both the qualifiers and the prelims, even if you only picked the steel prize, because you could potentially need 5 2001 cars for this final, and that might trip a few people up, especially if you've got smaller garages. So it just again kind of almost, I'd say, emphasizes the need to go and purchase slots, especially I'm going to say packs, bundles. We'll say bundles where you're given slots as well. There are none in the store at the moment, but for example, if it was a carbon fiber plus 5 slots, those packs, especially when you are a newer player or a player who is very close to their capacity in their garage, they're the ones you want to be looking out for and saving for, because extra slots will help you to hold on to some of these cars and obviously to be able to not only use them in the future but use them for events like these. So get involved. Even if they're not great cars, keep them for now, because you never know which 2001 cars could become pretty useful in the finals, either as RQ savers or potentially as just key cars, and they may even help you just to enter the final itself. So we'll do the last race here, and again, not too worried about getting defeated. As I said, this is it's going to be pretty casual play for me, which is in some respects it's nice, because I don't have to worry about being at my phone. I'm just if I pick it up and play top drives, I pick it up and play top drives. I'm not going to be sat on clubs for the weekend. I'm not going to be sat on here trying to do this event. I'm going to imagine what have I clicked on here? I'm going to imagine I'm not going to be particularly worried about the next event coming up either. We've got City Tour starting 90s, yep, and anything else, and the prelims. So a pretty casual, relaxed weekend. I think I'm going to end here with a ceramic pack. I'm actually using a bit more of my cash now to work on my cars. I'm going to be doing a video probably at the beginning of next week where I'm going to start actually upgrading a few of my epics and my legendaries, because I'm at that stage now where I want to start using some of my resources and getting those cars ready, those key cars especially that I've been talking about working on, and I don't. Let's just get those kind of done and get a couple more maxed out for the garage. Is this going to be a good ending? We'll take that Ford Mustang 2.3. Don't think I'll be building it. Never a bad thing to get an ultra rare from a ceramic pack. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below about the finals. The car itself is amazing, okay? That Jaguar is an amazing car. It doesn't matter if you like Jags or not, the car itself is a great car in the game. However, the requirements to potentially get it, you know, they leave a little bit to be desired. Anyway, thank you very much for watching as ever. I've been MyTyme. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you all soon. Enjoy your weekend.